Most of what we utilize, experience in today's world at one point was a figment in somebody's imagination. Everything started from that, from the building that you're in to these phones that we're using, the internet, YouTube, social media, books, everything, virtually everything at some point was an idea in somebody's mind that then manifested. They created it or whatever. Isn't that a trip to think about? Now, the reason I'm bringing that up and I'm talking to you guys is all of my success and everything that I've done has also been that. You had that as a child, and many people lack that. You need to tap back into that. That is dormant, lying within you. And the people who've had the wildest imaginations and been crazy enough to go after what they want and create that vision have been the ones that we've read about, envied, celebrated. I started, again, as a little kid, had professional athlete aspirations, fulfilled them almost to the point that I really aspired to. I didn't quite make it to where I wanted to make it, but I got pretty damn close. I then decided to reinvent myself after. And now here I am on YouTube. I created a real estate business when, again, none of that was supposedly in the cards for me, but I dared to imagine and make it happen. I think people severely underestimate what I'm talking about and this subject in general. This is why I always encourage the people around me to play with their imagination. So when we discuss with you goal setting, visualization, really getting down to the most deepest nook and cranny in detail, that's what we're referring to. When you really construct in your mind and you imagine as if you were a child again, what you want and what you want to accomplish and who you want to be, how far you want to take your career, what you want to do, again, to the smallest little detail. I'm telling you, even when I look back at like the cars that I bought through my journey, like the GTR, the Lamborghini, the Porsche, when you look at artist illustrations that I created, photos that I found online, dreams that I had, it ended up being like a carbon copy of what I imagined and what I wanted in regards to color, spec, and all of that. It's crazy. Same thing with my accomplishments in the real estate business, everything that I created online, like my old YouTube channel having over 200,000 subscribers and all this other stuff. It was so cool to see all those pieces slowly, be put together, because it's literally what I wrote down and journaled, visualized, put on my board, and I literally imagined. And this is why I dare many of you to be that crazy. You have to be, when you think about what you want and who you want to be, in a way, if you want to do something bold, if you want to do something that's way out there compared to typically what most people do, you're going to have to be crazy and embrace crazy. At least not in the sense of how you live in the world, but how you aspire to do things. Now, what a lot of people miss in that is it's one thing to imagine it, it's another thing to put in the work. Yes, I was delusional and crazy in my expectations or in my visions, but the work ethic was absolutely there. And I think that's the missing piece. If you just imagine things and you want to be delusional about it, but then you don't do anything, okay, that's just straight delusion. But if you're crazy enough to say, I want a Lamborghini, I want to be a millionaire, I want to grow a huge business, and then every single day you work tirelessly to build it, that's different. That puts you in a different category, because now you're working to create that. You're not just a talker, you're a doer. And that's what the world has right now. A lot of talkers and very few doers. Everything that I've created, and I'm going to do a video here pretty soon. I have one of my journals over there where I'm literally going to read off to you guys all the stuff that I accomplished. And it's crazy because so much of what I've journaled in 2014, 13, 15, 16, I accomplished. The vast majority, if not all of it. And I'm going to go look back and I'm probably going to show you guys maybe pictures and then read it off, exactly what I wrote in the journal. And then give you dates that correspond with when I accomplished it. Like I went in 2020, right? June of 2020, a few months after all the lockdowns, is when I officially launched Team BC nationwide, right? That's when I officially launched it. That had originally been an idea to go nationwide with my team, even though we didn't do it initially. That had been an idea 5, 6, 7 years before that I was journaling. And I don't know if I journaled it for years, but it was there. And I would tell people, hey, we're starting local, but eventually we're going to blow this thing out of the water and cross state lines, but we need to conquer here first. As simple as the subject matter is, and everyone's like, yeah, I know it. Think about it. How often are you using that imagination? Are you specifically taking time out of your day to work on these visualization exercises, even if it's only for 5 minutes a day? This is why a lot of those classic exercises of creating a vision board and doing all that is so key. Because when you do that, you're getting those wheels turning, you're activating that. If you cannot imagine it and believe it and truly desire it, you're not going to have it. I'm telling you. This is why that childlike stubbornness that some people have, that they keep through teenage years and adult years, is what leads them to achieving so much, because they obsess about what they want. It's cool to see a kid who was 6 years old saying, I'm going to be a doctor. And then you meet them at 26, 36, and 46, and they're in school and they became a doctor, and they tell, oh yeah, I knew since I was 6. And it's okay if you didn't know what you wanted to do. It's all right. The main point is, it's not the fact that they chose that profession or path for their life. It's the fact that when they chose it, their imagination was activated enough to do everything possible every single day to obsess and focus on that, and then create the timeline and the path to get there. Because that's what it is. So it doesn't matter if you do it at 6, 15, 25, 45, 55, or whatever it is. You guys have heard plenty of stories of people accomplishing things in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Hell, I've had to reinvent myself and start all over. And I'm rebuilding my empire right now on paper, but also online. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. But my mind is still actively focused on this. Oh, I want to keep expanding. Like, I'm expanding into some new markets with my real estate team on the retail side. So I'm excited about that. Those announcements are coming soon. I relaunched the investment division of my team. We already have a few people onboarded, and they're rocking and rolling. My platforms are growing. This YouTube channel is, I think, only a couple days away from being monetized, which is awesome. Remember, my first YouTube channel that had 200,000 subscribers, it took me 2 years to hit 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. I think maybe even more than 2 years. This new one, we've been here, a couple months, 4 months, and it's already going to be monetized. Freaking awesome. Awesome. So it's a testament to all this stuff. But this becomes a game too, and more fun. So I'm really urging you to not just think big, but imagine big, put it on paper, and then start doing something about it. Because again, that's the key. If you work on your imagination and you really start piecing together how you want your life to be, your career, yourself, and how you want to develop and grow, but then you don't do anything about it, there's no point in watching this type of content or learning these things. There really isn't. So you really need to make sure that even if it's only a couple minutes a day, that you start doing these things. The clearer you get about who you are, where you want to be, and what you want, and you tune in with that and check in on that every single day, and you're taking action and working towards it, it becomes a normal mode of action for you to do these things on a daily basis. And change is just around the corner. It doesn't take long to start rewiring your mind, to take more action, and to do more, and to become more. It really doesn't. It's a set of choices, and then it's a standard of excellence that you hold yourself to, that you work at and focus on every single day. That's why I talk to all the salespeople and people in business and entrepreneurship that work with me. And we focus on growing our businesses and making calls and doing what we got to do and making the contacts, right? And doing all the basic stuff that we need to do. So make a commitment that you're going to do something. I have a ton of free resources for you in the comment section. This is something I work with my students all the time. You're more than welcome on my website to set up an appointment and check out, my coaching and training and all that. But even if this is just for you and you're like, okay, I want to get started, put pen to paper, start using your imagination. It's probably going to be dim and difficult the first maybe week or two, but take a couple minutes every day. Do it in the morning and do it at night. Put pen to paper, use your mind, and think. And after a while, your mind will literally become like you going to the movies, where you can create images so real and vivid that you get these crazy emotional responses because it's real. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and what's going on up here, what you imagine. So therefore, you imagining things and making them real and palpable, like you're experiencing them, affects you on the subconscious level and gets you across that hump and will get you past the finish line. Use your imagination. It's extremely powerful, and it's led to some of the most beautiful advancements and inventions and things that we've seen um, as a species, as human beings. And moving forward, I think it's even more important that we tap into it, because look at all the stuff that we've created, AI and all these other things were once, again, a figment and point in somebody's imagination that then eventually was brought to life. All right, see you guys.